Welcome to Lunch with Legacy Leaders, a weekly talk show with local and national thought leaders discussing issues impacting the Black community. Now introducing our host, Miss Ann Marie Sorrell.
Good afternoon and welcome to Lunch with Legacy Leaders. I'm your host, Ann Marie Sorrell. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy afternoon to join us for this special segment. But before we get started with our broadcast, I'd like to thank our sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Thank you to the Mesman and Dover Accident Attorneys, AARP, the Florida Lottery, and All of Us Research Program at the University of Miami. Today, I am joined by Ms. Theresa Therilus, who is the City Manager of the City of North Miami. Welcome, Theresa.
Hello, welcome. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for being with us this afternoon. We're super excited to hear all about the great things that you are doing over in the city of North Miami. But before we dive in, I want to just formally introduce you to our audience who may not be familiar with you. And I'm just going to take an opportunity to read through a little bit of your bio. And then, of course, I'm going to have you kind of talk about your journey in your own words, if that's okay. So Theresa Therilus is an experienced attorney and is the appointed city manager for the city of North Miami, where she is the top executive responsible for the city's operations. Notably, Ms. Therilus is the first Haitian American city manager for the city of North Miami, a city with approximately 65,000 residents and one of the nation's largest Haitian populations. In her role, she is responsible for overseeing the city's $190 million operating budget. Prior to this appointment, Theresa served as the interim director of procurement for the county of Santa Clara, home to Silicon Valley. She was responsible for leading countywide contract negotiations for all county acquisitions, including in technology and health and hospital for the county's two services. She is the former assistant director for Miami-Dade County Internal Services, where she was responsible for managing a $160 million operating budget, the county's $330 million multi-year capital budget, and overseeing the county's real estate portfolio. She has served as a legal advisor for Miami-Dade County and as a formal assistant attorney general for the state of Florida in consumer protection and economic crimes. And there's so much more. She has a bachelor's of administration in economics and legal studies from the University of Miami and a Juris Doctor degree from Harvard Law School. And she's also also has a certificate in executive leadership and transformation from Stanford University and was admitted to the Florida Bar, California Bar, and the United States Supreme Court. And that's just a little bit. Of course, she has been featured in several magazines, including 2020 Legacy South Florida Magazine's most influential and powerful Black professionals, Brickell Magazine 2017 Top 20 Under 40 Professionals, as well as the 2021 Government and Finance Awards from South Florida Business and Wealth Magazine, and so much more. So there's so much more you can learn, but I want to just kind of hear, you've had a pretty extensive journey through government. How did you even get an interest in government, especially coming from law school?
I've always had an interest in the public sector. I was from Miami, Florida, born and raised. I went to University of Miami, as you said, and decided to come back down here to Miami, where I'm from, in my hometown. I started off practicing. I started off in private practice, and then I actually ended up going to the Attorney General's office. And during that time, I'm working for the state in consumer protection and in economic crimes. It really brought back my desire to work for the public and to do the right thing for our people. I went to Miami-Dade County kind of in a legal role, and it turned into an administrative role. I found that was where I could make sure projects happen and really have an impact on the communities and the activities and the programs that were happening. And so that's how, and now I'm here at the city of North Miami. I spent the previous couple years in California at the county of Santa Clara, where we focused on a lot of the services including hospital. And that's where I was when the pandemic hit, working really hard with our hospitals to make sure that we could provide the care that we needed. And when the call came to come back to the city of North Miami, to this community, which is a strong Black community, heavily populated immigrant community, as well as just a diverse community overall here, it was a call to come home and to make sure that I can work on the operations of the city.
Well, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that with us. So you came aboard the city of North Miami, and at the time, the city was facing a $14 million deficit. Now, and I'm sure there were probably other challenges, especially, coming back in the midst of a pandemic. Talk to me about how you've been able to navigate and bring the city into out of a deficit and into the black.
So, if I can frame it for you, when I came, I actually just came to a new city and it was COVID, you're right. And I didn't get a chance to really meet anyone, except for my closest team. Everything was virtual, everything was on Zoom. And having faced the deficit, we had to make really tough decisions. And I had to do it with a group that I had not really met or had not seen in person. So we made some tough decisions with the support of the council. I report to a five-person council that includes a mayor and 4 council persons, and they develop policy, and I implement the policy and run the day-to-day operations. But we made some hard decisions in terms of looking at our personnel and not being able to do the increases that we'd want, our merit increases. Some of the staff sacrifice with what we call furloughs, which is taking off a day, an additional day, but not getting paid for that day so that we could reduce costs. We looked around to everything, including contracts that we had, things that we were purchasing, and cut down on the number of contracts that we had and the cost that we had across the board. And we made some tough decisions across the board to make sure the cut. One of the main issues that we were running into was we were growing a deficit, but we were also having a budget that we couldn't meet. Our expenses were continually more than our revenues. And it was about buckling ourselves up and saying, okay, let's look at what we're expending on and how can we change that. And now what we've been doing as well is really pushing the development community. Where North Miami is situated, which is halfway between the Miami International Airport and Fort Lauderdale, it is a prime area for coming into our city and developing and having economic growth. And so the two part to that is, while we've decreased our expenses and we're working to keep them under our revenues, we also want to create more revenues. And so we're working with that. So it's been about letting people know, hey, we're here, City of North Miami. Now that we're post-pandemic, we're open for business. We want you to come here, look at our space, create businesses here, develop here, and work with us here at the City of North Miami.
Well, congratulations and kudos to you and your leadership. So let's talk about what are some of the programs or upcoming opportunities you have in the city of North Miami.
So since the pandemic, we have been trying to provide programs to help the residents. We still continue to have mortgage assistance and tenant assistance. So along with what the county has, we have opportunities for our residents to apply for that assistance. We understand that this market rental rates have increased almost 25%. So we have a goal to try to help keep residents in their homes and to help them with that. Additionally, we have business grants that we offer. Particularly, one of the grants that was instrumental for us during COVID was what we call the Smart Biz Grant. It's not a large grant, but it's enough of a grant to allow the businesses to actually change how they did business. So there were businesses that needed laptops, that needed to now provide online services. So we gave grants so that they could purchase the needed technology in order to transform their business. So for example, we had given grant to a dance studio that was able to now teach some of the classes online because people didn't want to come into the studio given COVID, or were unable to come to the studio given COVID. And that was transformational for them because now they had the equipment and they could continue to have some level of business. And we continue to look for, different programs that we have at our library. We also provide programming on first home buyer programs, so you can learn how to buy your first home. We are getting ready to start new classes, computer classes. And we also have what we call the Mayor's Citizenship Corner, which is at our library, and it provides the applications and the information that's needed to apply for your status for citizenship. We have a strong immigrant community, so we've been pushing that as well. And so we would encourage people to come to our Citizenship Corner. There are all sorts of resources for being able to apply for citizenship here in the United States.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay. And how does, of course, I'm sure they can go to your website, which I do believe, do we have that scrolling at the bottom?
Yep.
We have how they can reach you at your social media.
They can check
How
my
do they
social
find
media.
out more about these grants? Your social media page?
You can find on my social media page. I post that on there at CM Therilus, also at North Miami, Florida. But they can also go to at northmiamifl.gov, and you can go to our COVID-19 programs and or our business programs, and they'll show you the different grants and opportunities that are available.
Okay. And we do have that information scrolling at the bottom for those who are watching. You can see it at the bottom of the screen where you can see how to reach Theresa at her social media handles, as well as at North Miami Beach social media and the website as well. So with that being said, I know that the American Rescue Plan funding was a huge help, not just for the city, but for its residents as well. What other, what's your vision for your role, moving forward? Like, if you had and I'm sure you have a strategic plan or master plan, or, what's your vision forward for the city of North Miami?
My vision is to continue to have a growing community with economic development. So that's been a strong part of our mission, including we would like to work on increasing our participation in the tech space. So we've been working closely on finding ways to be part of accelerating and being part of the tech community in North Miami. What we found is while tech is growing, it hasn't grown enough in the space with minorities. Right? Minorities have not been in the tech space as they can be. And so our vision is, while we're doing economic growth, to definitely be on the heels of that as well with our community. We want to continue to help support our residents that are struggling still and that are dealing with the effects of the post-pandemic. And our vision for the city is to be one of the premier cities to live, work, and play here in the metropolitan Miami-Dade community.
And I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit because I work with a lot of cities, and that's everyone's goal is to envision it to be that premier city where everyone lives, work, and play. So how do you foresee the city of North Miami achieving that and really being a standout city?
It's really going to come through the partnerships and pushing it out there and letting people know what's here in North Miami. For a long time, North Miami is kind of that hidden gem, but I'll tell you, we have some of the best restaurants that you can have here. We have an award-winning museum here, and we need to push that forward and let people know that it's here. It's here for the community as well. And I think we've been having some of the premier developers coming into our city and wanting to build here. So I think you'll see it. We're designing some great partnerships that will continue to build and bring those up. So yes, there's always competition, but we're ready for the challenge. I'm here today to say, hey, North Miami is here, and come see us, come learn us, come know us. And that's kind of our phrase. We call it know me, but it's kind of two things. It's North Miami, but it's also get to know me. And we want people to get here and to know us and know that we are premier. I think we have grown by 373 businesses in the last year, which says that we are changing, we are growing. So we brought new businesses here. We have at least 10 new large developments that are going for LEED. So we're doing our sustainability and our resiliency. We've made this city also a place that is sustainable with our tree canopy. We've reached over 30% in tree canopy because we continue to plant trees here. So we have really focused on all of the areas that really matter: economic development, sustainability and resiliency, and also the services. We also continue to have a food pantry here. And so we understand that across the country there are food deserts, and including some in our city. And we offer that to our residents as well, where we bring foods to them and they can come to our pantry a couple years. So ideally, what I think everyone's going to see in the next few years is that we're going to bring everyone along, right? Economic development and growth and opportunities for all in the city. And once we're at the place where everyone who's here and everyone who comes here can have equal benefits to being here, finding jobs that make sense for them and their skill set, having the opportunity to purchase a home with the help that we will provide, and also seeing that new companies and organizations will be here. Last year, we actually welcomed Payless's headquarters, which is going to be headquartered right across the street from City Hall. That's a huge company that will have its headquarters here. So we're seeing the change and we're seeing the shift, and we believe we will be topping out the other cities across the county.
No, that's awesome. And thank you for your response. I know that that's a big challenge for city administrators and, their elected officials, is making their city stand out. And I think that prior to, I don't know if people realize that cities do have to compete for, just like any corporation, they have to compete for their customers, which includes their residents, their businesses, their investors, and their tourists, their visitors.
Absolutely.
So, so kudos
Absolutely.
to you for putting all that in place. And I definitely think that I look forward to the technology advancements that's going to be coming under your leadership, especially after you had been out in Silicon Valley. It'd be interesting to see how you bring some of that expertise to North Miami.
Thank you. Yeah, we're excited about that. I think I saw a lot of things in Silicon Valley that said to me, we can use technology to be here. And also in that space, I found a really strong, growing minority community that was focused on tech. And that was part of that. So I think bringing that to the community here will be helpful, and also using technology to make things easier. Last year, I launched putting our building department online, so that residents, and it seems simple, right? But we were literally, everyone had to come in to get a permit, had to walk into our building. And last year we were able to get technology to put that online so that people can apply for their permits and do their building work from their home, which makes it easier and not having to come in. And so we're working through that. So every place and space that we can find to make to use technology to make it easier for our residents and businesses to work with us, and also to make sure that our residents have an opportunity to be part of the growing tech world that's coming to us.
Absolutely. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us about just, all the great things you're doing in Miami, the city of North Miami?
Well, I just want to share that, North Miami over the past few years was having some concerning financial difficulty, but we're on we're getting ready to be on the other side and have a financial turnaround. We're happy for everyone to come and do business with the city of North Miami, and we're working to make those processes smoother and helpful, and just let everyone know that the best city right now is the city of North Miami.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon and giving us an update on what's happening in the city of North Miami. For those, again, who's tuned in, if you're listening, make sure you check out the city of North Miami, all the museum, the events, if you live there, the different opportunities. If you don't live there, you want to move there. It looks like they have many opportunities for you to do so. And you can learn more at CM Therilus, which is for the city manager's social media handles that you can follow her, or at North Miami FL on social media, or northmiamifl.gov for the website. So just stay with me for just a moment. Let me do a few quick announcements, and thank you so much again for joining me this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you again to our sponsors, the Messon and Dover Accident Attorneys, AARP, the Florida Lottery, and All of Us Research Program at the University of Miami. And for our partner at Broward College, if you're looking for a higher paying job, start your life-changing career in 2 years or less with Broward College Fast Track certification programs. Training is available for South Florida's top earning industries, and you can learn more at broward.edu /fast track legacy, or call 954-306-9085. Please be on the lookout this Sunday for our power issue. This Sunday, May 1st, where we will have the most powerful and influential professionals in business and industry being honored and featured. And also, if you have not received your ticket, make sure you get your ticket for the 16th annual Legacy Power Gala, which is going to be on May 14th at the Diplomat Hollywood. Tickets are $200, and you can RSVP by emailing rsvp@miamediagrp.com, or just give us a call. But you definitely do not want to miss our star-studded event that's going to be taking place on the 14th. And we will be featuring and highlighting and just celebrating our Power Issue honorees at that event as well. Also, as you know, we have something for everyone. Make sure you tune in and watch all of our other MIA Media Group shows. On Mondays, we have The Business of Black Business at 1 p.m. with Jay Reynolds. Tuesday, My Money, Your Money at 7 p.m. with Bridgette Lumpkins. Wednesday, we have Soul with Nikki Jellin. Thursday, of course, yours truly at 12 noon, Lunch with Legacy Leaders. And Flavor of South Florida at 7 p.m. with Chef Irie. And recently added Black Health Fridays at 2 p.m. with Dr. Michelle Kerwin. So we have you covered with all the information, news, and latest updates in all the different areas. Also, make sure you follow MIA Media Group on all of our social media channels and subscribe to our newsletters so you do not miss out on all of the happenings around South Florida. And of course, as always, make sure you share this video and mark your calendar and tune in with me again next Thursday at noon. Thank you again, Theresa, and thank you everyone for tuning in this afternoon.
Thank you.